Hey, what's going on, my people? We're back. I'm Cody Lear. If you haven't figured that out already by looking at the channel title, nice to meet you. Um, yeah, if you'd like to like, comment, or subscribe if you haven't been here before, we'd love to have you here. We'd love you to join us, all that kind of stuff. Just yesterday, I did a little bit of a quiz on Sporkle to kind of see my knowledge when it came to like the 20 to when it came to quarterbacks, right? I do kind of understand what I'm talking about in those kind of regards, right? Well, I think I have some more ideas for some of those. We'll see how we do in the future. Maybe we'll just start doing like full on drafts and stuff like that. But either way, let's get right into this one today. We're back with schedule predictions. Today we're gonna start with today we're gonna do the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, basically the whole part of this was inspired by Scooter Magruder. I saw him do the Cowboys kind of like schedule predictions, and I thought to myself, hey, it's a really good idea. Let's go ahead and try to dig right into that. You know what I mean? And yeah, so let's kind of see it for ourselves how we think the Cowboys are going to do. We saw what a fan thinks. Let's see how we think, right? Starting off with Week 1, they're on the road to the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. I do believe they will take a loss on the first Thursday night game. They've been here before when Tampa was the ones that won the championship. They played them that first game of the season, and they came up short there. I think it's going to be more of the same here. There's a lot of really good things to look up for in Dallas, right? You're hoping that that young defense is going to develop with Micah Parsons. Obviously, contract issues are happening there, so God knows what's going to happen. Hopefully, Jerry Jones is able to figure that whole thing out. You got CeeDee Lamb, you got George Pickens, who George Pickens seems to be more angry at the Pittsburgh Steelers than wanting to play for the Dallas Cowboys, but we will see how that goes, right? Because we're only looking from the outside perspective. We don't know what's happening. But either way, I think they're going to start with a win, and they're going to keep it going. Week 2, they're at home to the New York Football Giants. I do believe they win this one, and I do believe they win it pretty handily. The Giants, they don't have a phenomenal team. Their defense, I think, will be better, and I think that that will be the case this year, that they will put some good fights up, but I don't think they're going to be a team that wins a lot of games. Maybe a 5-6 win team. Meanwhile, I think Dallas has a lot to look forward to, right? If they can get that running game going with the people that we've already talked about, with CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, yeah, I know this offense could be absolutely insane. They've been kind of building a great wall of Tyler in the front. I think it's going to come out and play here against the New York Giants. They're going to get themselves their first win of the season. Week 3, they're going on the road to the Chicago Bears. I do believe they will get that W there. Yeah, I'm pretty confident with that one. That one's the tough one for me, right? Because I do think that the Bears will be good. I've said that many times at this point, but I don't think they're good enough to. I think that they're going to need a little bit more time. And week 3 is just enough time for Dallas to kind of come in, do what they usually do, right? Dallas starts off hot, really, really usual. And I think that they will continue to do that against the Chicago Bears. They'll get themselves that win. Chicago will keep trying to, develop. And I think Chicago will be one of those teams to be talking about right at the end of the season. But yeah, no, Dallas, I think, starts off pretty good, 2-1. Week 4, they're at home to the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to give them the loss here. There's just something about the Green Bay Packers that Dallas does not like, and I think that that continues because I don't know why it wouldn't. And that's just kind of what Dallas does, to be honest with you. They have some kind of curse where they can't beat them. I don't know how I feel about Green Bay this year. I think their offense should be really, really good. Their defense, I think, will be okay, but man, losing Jair Alexander is really rough. But you kind of, you know, when you're not healthy, and you don't want to pay the man. You sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. As much as it sucks, that's just kind of how that ended up going down for them. And yeah, I think they take another win. I think they take the win over the Dallas Cowboys. I think their defense will be just enough to kind of hold things together, and their defense was kind of the bread and butter just last year. Week 5 on the road to the New York Jets. I'm giving them that win. They will start 3-2 at this point. Yeah, talking about the New York Jets, there isn't a lot of things that I'm in love with, right? They got Sauce Gardner, they got Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall. They got talent. I don't have the faith in Justin Fields that everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people seem to. I don't know if he's going to be the guy that's a starting caliber guy, but at the same time, he's kind of getting reunited with some of his players. So maybe those kind of things will work out in his favor, and things will do well for him. But yeah, I think that they take that win against the New York Jets. Week 6 on the road to the Carolina Panthers. I'm also giving them this win. Carolina, I think Carolina's a middle of the road team. I think that they have a lot of things to look forward to, though. I think as a team, they're very likely going to be like 8-9, 9-8. I even looked at their schedule and I could see 10-7. Like they have a lot of potential on that football team, and those kind of things are just kind of going to stick out. You know what I mean? And I think that that will be the case as I smash a bug because for some reason he just decided to crawl up on my wall while I'm recording. Yeah. Either way, I love the Carolina Panthers team, but I think that they got a year or two to go, and I think Dallas is one of those teams that's going to be competitive this year, as long as no injuries happen, no injury concerns are a thing. Yeah, I think Dallas can take this one pretty easily. Week 7 at home to the Washington Commanders. I'm going to give them the win here as well. I think that they take I think they can take them at home. That's basically where that's headed. I think the Commanders are probably going to be one of those teams that's competing for a playoff spot as well. I don't know if I love what's going on over there with Terry McLaurin wanting to sit out, Debo Samuel being the guy that's getting paid, right? I understand why Terry is wanting to get paid after the season that Debo had compared to him. Either way, I think the Commanders, they're a good team, but man, last year they could not figure out that Dallas defense, and Dallas just got younger. I think, crap, what is his name? Eberflus will do really good work over there. I think that that's kind of the most underrated part of Dallas this year is that the hires that they made. I don't love Brian Schottenheimer as the head coach, but I think that he's got a good enough team where like if his lack of experience is a thing, that it will carry over and it will be fine. They're gonna get that win over Washington. They're gonna be 5-2 at this point, and they're gonna head on the road to the Denver Broncos where they will take a loss here. I genuinely like Denver a lot. I genuinely like their defense. I think their offense is just going to keep kind of developing, get better. And if they get any kind of run game going, Denver's going to be an issue. And I think that that might be the case that just this year. I think their defense will be enough just to stifle the Dallas Cowboys. And the Dallas Cowboys, they go off of an explosive offense. And with that air over there in Denver, it is pretty tough. Your defense has to be on the field a lot because Denver's defense is going to be absolutely insane. I'm going to give Denver this one. Week 9 at home to the Arizona Cardinals. They will take another win here. Arizona, man, I want to have faith in them. I really do. I want to believe in them, but I just can't. You know, you're playing a team like Dallas. Dallas has got a pretty good football team, man. They have a little bit of room to grow here. I don't, man. It's hard to have faith in them. It really is. I like the people on the team is the issue, right? Like I love Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr. I hope he's nothing like his father if he ever plays for the Colts. Uh, and Trey McBride, a phenomenal player. James Conner, I mean, the guy is just crazy. Like he does this stuff at that age. It's just kind of insane at this point. Yeah, Arizona's got a lot of good things going up, but man, I don't know if they can handle Dallas, and that's why I'm gonna go ahead and give Dallas that win there. Week 10 they have a bye. Week 11 they're gonna be on the road to the Las Vegas Raiders, where they will procure. What are we at now? Their 7th win of the year. Yeah, that's a pretty tough one. Huh? I don't think they can beat the Raiders. I genuinely don't. Or I don't think they'll lose to the Raiders. I'm sorry. You know, I'm not gonna edit that out because it just makes me sound dumb, and that's kind of what we're here for. You know what I mean? The Raiders, while they have a lot of talent on the team, I think that it's a team that you just kind of worry about, right? In the future, they have like so many things that you just kind of don't know. Pete Carroll is a great coach. Ashton Genty should be a good running back. Geno Smith can play some football. The receiving crew is okay. The tight end is absolutely insane. If Michael Mayer ever can develop that twin tight end set, could be absolutely insane over there. But yeah, I don't. Man, they're not ready for a team like Dallas, right? Dallas still has a phenomenal defense if they're healthy. If they're healthy. And that's the key here when we're talking about all these schedule predictions. If healthiness is a thing, like if we're taking injury concerns out of the problem, like this is the predictions I have. And yeah, I think Dallas takes them as long as they're healthy, and they move on with their 7th win on the year. Week 12 at home to the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, it's a tough one. I'll give them the win. Yeah, I'll give them the win. I think they split with the Eagles. Well, I think the Eagles have a better team, and I truly do believe they have a better team. I think that it's probably the case that the Eagles split with them. It just kind of seems like the thing the Eagles and the Cowboys do every single season is they seem to split when they shouldn't, or one team's more dominant when they shouldn't be. That's just kind of the Eagles Cowboys rivalry. I think that kind of stays the course here, right? The Eagles got that win week 1, so the Cowboys are going to get it week 12. They're going to be on them. They're going to be on that boat right now. They're going to be cruising because they got 8 wins already. Yeah, no, I think beating the Eagles is definitely something that could be happening, and yeah, I really like it. I'll give it to Dallas. I'll give it to Dallas. Week 13 at home on Thursday Night Football to the Kansas City Chiefs. I will give them a loss here. It looks like this might be Thanksgiving, so yeah, no, Patrick Mahomes is gonna get that win. I mean, that's just kind of how things go. The Chiefs are gonna be such a good team, and I hate it. I hate it. In fact, I think I picked them to go second in their division because I just wanted to. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, with Kansas City, is that by this point, Rasheed Rice's suspension will probably be figured out and dealt with. Travis Kelsey, he's very motivated this year. I think that this team, I think that Chiefs team is probably like a 12-5 team. Like that's the crazy part is, and I still think that they're underrated. Like I think they're going to be a really tough team this year, and I think they will beat Dallas, especially on Thanksgiving, because that's just kind of how things go. I like Kansas City here. So I'll give them the win here. Dallas falls to like 8-3 or 8-4 at this point, so they're cruising. Week 14, Thursday night football. They're gonna take another loss to the Lions. So they'd be 8-5, doing pretty good. The Lions, I like their team just a little bit more than I like the Cowboys, and that's just gonna keep the same, right? I think that they get themselves under control here. And to be honest with you guys, do not judge me. I'm probably going to go ahead and check real quick to make sure I didn't overlap my predictions here. And that's going to be something that I try not to do as I continue doing these videos. Um, yeah, I don't feel bad about picking the Lions to win this game at all. Because the Lions are going to be. They should be a good team, right? The problem is we have concerns with the coordinator position. And things like that make things even more difficult to predict because they lost Ben Johnson, they lost Aaron Glenn, so all these guys are kind of like brand new. And when that happened with Philadelphia, we saw kind of how that worked out. You know, it took them another year to get back to that promised land, and after it did, they just ended up winning the Super Bowl. In fact, that's what we're talking about now. Can the Lions be that team to do just that? I don't know, but man, if I'm gonna believe in a coach, I'm gonna believe in Dan Campbell. I'm gonna give the Lions the win. I'm not looking back here. Week 15 at home to the Minnesota Vikings. I'm gonna give them the win. They're gonna be what is that 9-5 on the year? Yeah, we'll go ahead with that. Yeah, I think they can beat Minnesota. Minnesota, and it feels like I'm picking on them at this point, but man, I don't got a lot of faith in the J.J. McCarthy train. I know they have Aaron Jones, they have Jay Jettis. Jordan Addison will face some kind of suspension, I'm sure. TJ Hawk, like, the offense should be absolutely insane, and Brian Flores is probably one of the best defensive coordinators in the game. So a lot of my hatred is based on not believing in J.J. McCarthy, and I really should kind of fix that. Maybe we'll try to do the Vikings next. That seems like probably the smartest way to do it at this point. But yeah, I don't mean to be picking on him. I just, man, I don't see him being able to beat Dallas, especially late in the season. But Kevin O'Connell's a heck of a coach, so he'll probably prove me wrong here, and I'll just have to live with it. Week 16 at home to the Los Angeles Chargers. I think they take the win here as well. That's gonna be number 10? Yeah. The Chargers. The thing is, they're grind them out, pound them out style. I don't think it's going to be enough to beat Dallas. I think Dallas has the perfect defense to face just that, and that's where we're at here. I love what the Chargers have done. Like I love what they did in the draft as well. They just kind of made the same move. They got Amari and Hampton. They were thinking, okay, well, let's just kind of build on what we built on last year, and let's try to make it even better. We grind the rock, we pound the rock, we try to get Justin Herbert some easy throws. We gotta hopefully they get him his receiver help is better this year, and it's not just that poor guy Lad McConkey. But yeah, no, I don't. I think I'm gonna take Dallas like in a close game because I think these are two playoff teams. But yeah, we'll give that one the Chargers. 17 at Thursday Night Football. They will take a loss to the Washington Commanders to be 10-6 on the year. We'll go ahead and talk about this real quick because the last game, I think it's pretty obvious at this point what I would believe. The Commanders Yeah, I think Jaden Daniels and everybody has got everything figured out by now. Is the key, right? They played Washington pretty early on this season, and that's where my thought was: is hey, maybe they won't be ready just yet. Maybe they have a little bit more things to go over, and they redesign, they rebuild, they reclaim, and at this point, Washington has got themselves figured out. They got stuff done. You know, we have a lot of crap going on with the Washington Commanders. I don't know why all that stuff is kind of happening, but it is what it is at this point. But I think at this point, Washington's got everything figured out. They're a team fighting for a playoff spot, and they're going to get a win against Dallas. Week 18, they're going to play the New York Football Giants on the road, and I believe they get that win as well. When it comes to the New York Giants, I I would assume Brian Dable and play coaches like him are going to be ones that have to worry, right? Like you look at like the Callahans, you look at like the Dables. Their teams weren't good last year. Stefanski even. Um, And unfortunately, man, every time I look at this Giant schedule for them, and it looks tough. It looks really tough. I don't know if they're going to be able to kind of be competing against a lot of these teams, and that's really not a way to play. That's really not the way to want to be. And yeah, I think it just stays this way. We stay the course. They take another win against the New York Football Giants. Man, Giants have so many things that they need to clear up, and it does genuinely worry me for them. But hey, hopefully they get it figured out. Hopefully all my these predictions are wrong and everybody kind of develops and becomes who you want them to be. But that being said, if we pick the Cowboys to be 11-6 on the year, I think that is a fair prediction for the Dallas Cowboys. Looks like they have a pretty good schedule. Looks like they have a pretty tough schedule at the end, but I think that they have just enough talent to be able to be the team to beat a lot of these guys. I don't know if they can beat a team like the Eagles. I don't know if they can beat a team like the Commanders or the Chiefs or even the Chargers, but I'm going to give them faith in that one. But yeah, that being said, I'll try to get on out of here. We'll shut up a little bit. If you have a team that you would like to see me predict next, I would love for you to go ahead and put that down in the comments below. If you don't mind, like, commenting, and subscribing, give us a minute of your time. I'll love you for life. I appreciate you so very much. It's really nice to be with you guys. I hope to see you all on the next video, and I hope you have a good day.